Well, here we are, yet again, but not Chapel's Concert Chronicles. It is the annual Chapel's Top 10 Albums of 2025. Oh, I can't believe we made it this far. Since 2018, I've been doing this, and here we are to do it yet again. And I have Lady Chapel on the other side of me right now. Hello, Lady Chapel.
Hello, Chapel.
Gonna do things a little different this year. I am going to give some honorable mentions halfway through the video, but also Lady Chapel's going to give insights on some of her favorite albums of the year. Some of them will be on my top 10, or and some of hers will be honorable mentions for me as well because I have listened to these albums. But I was gonna say, man, should I shit on one really, really early? No, I'll wait.
Shut up.
Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and kickstart this right now, as Lady Chapel and I are gonna take a shot. It's not Friday, so this is not Jaeger. We all know how y'all know we love Friday night Jaeger nights. So, but this is some tequila. So, cheers, and here's to a new year of music. All right. Woo! Let's get this started. First off, number 10 is a longtime favorite band of mine. One of my favorite old school thrash metal bands from the Bay Area, California. It is the mighty Testament. Now, Testament normally would probably be higher in this list, but I got such a late listen to their new album, Parabellum. So many good songs on this album. Emphasized AI. The opening track, which name escapes me, is one of the heaviest Testament songs I have ever heard. They do so much stuff that is very non-Testament, but still like heavy feeling, thrash feeling, death. They got the mixture of death metal vocals now. They've been doing off and on for years. Chuck Billy's vocal style now, I definitely love. After doing this band for like 40 years, he really his vocal style has become very synonymous now. But with this album, just like any of these that have come out in the past 15 years, Testament really has just put out another banger, just a banger. And like I said, probably would be higher than number 10 if I'd have got an early listen this year, but did not. But the Mighty Testament, Parabellum, go get that album. We're trying to rock through these, baby. We're rocking through these. So
We're rocking through them.
We're rocking through them because you got to do some stuff too.
Got things to say.
Got things to say. And then we got number 9 with another longtime favorite and a Lady Chapel favorite as well. Paradise Lost with Ascension. I very much love this record. As soon as I put it on, it gave me that old school Paradise Lost feeling. With still like over the past, I'd say, has it been 10 years now? He's brought the death metal vocal into it, and just off and on, still doing the Queen singing and whatnot. That still doomy sound of Paradise Lost. Kind of sad and depressing at times, and then sometimes just anger and just darkness and rage. But they really just one of them albums you just put on. It's like, hey, you've been a long time Paradise Lost fan. This record just it goes pretty good. It's one of those I can listen to start to finish and absolutely love. I'm a longtime fan, and this album did not disappoint me whatsoever. It stayed on repeat quite a bit. But oh man, this number 8, Lord, I feel like some of the bands on this list, I'm like, what year is it? What year is it? because not only did Paradise Lost put out a new album, Catatonia put out a new album.
Yeah.
And I know this is one of her favorites as well, but it made my top 10, so I'm going to get to talk about it, and she's not.
Darn it, Chapel.
I mean, they can hear you. They can hear you.
Yeah,
You can chime in and say what you want about the new Catatonia, because I know Catatonia is one of Lady Chapel's favorite bands. And with this album, I was a little worried because the guitarist had left, and him and Jonas had been partners in this band since the beginning. And once he left, I told Lady Chapel, I said, "Oh, this is going to become the Jonas project. He's just going to make sad synth keyboard songs and his vocals in his bedroom with one candle lit and put out a Catatonia record of just sad bastard music."
So specific.
It was because he does that. Some of that stuff, that is just Jonas, and I don't like that kind of stuff. I like the heavy yet dark, depressing sound of Catatonia. And this did not disappoint me whatsoever. Like Lilac, man, and I'm trying to remember names of songs. The Winds of No Change, which is really strange.
Very strange.
It's good. I like the song, but when they do the whole Hail Satan part, I'm like, that's weird for It's just weird for Catatonia. Not if it was like super, super early death metal Catatonia, but for Catatonia now, it is not one of my favorites for them to do. It just takes away from. That's the one thing I didn't like, because it sort of takes away from what the feeling of Catatonia. It's like, oh, now you're being oddly specific with Satan, and you're not one of those bands that really talks about that kind of
however, even when they say Hail Satan, it's very pretty.
Right? It's just very pretty.
It's very pretty how they say
Hail
it.
Satan. Anyways, but still, Jonas did not make sad bastard music.
No.
He made one of the heaviest Catatonia records for me in years, because as a long time Catatonia fan, Lady Chapel knows that I'm very critical of their last few records in the past 12, almost 15 years. I mean, there's some songs I like, but albums as a whole, I've had some things to say about it. But this one gives me that feeling again, like from the early days of with songs like July or Evidence, and even Forsaker, that it still kind of has that era of Catatonia feeling to it, which I like. So I definitely dig that. Oh, by the way, I don't even think I said the name of the album. The name of because it has a very long.
I have a hard time remembering
the name of it. Yeah, Nightmares as Extensions of the Walking State, or excuse me, the Waking State. I said walking. I'm an idiot. I can't read my own handwriting. But yeah, I remember I was like, man, okay, we could have come up with a shorter title for something with the same meaning. I don't get it. I don't get it. But yet again, I say, what year is it when Paradise Lost, Catatonia, and now number 7 with Amorphous put out a new album this year? Oh my God, what year is it with Borderland? My God, still a good Amorphous does not disappoint me. I don't know, they just haven't disappointed me in a long time.
Yeah, another one of my favorites.
Another one of Lady Chapel's favorite bands, and we've seen multiple times. I have a couple of times on the Concert Chronicles. But yeah, don't get me wrong. They still haven't given me something that give me that excitement like Queen of Time. Like, that album was so good. And they've been around for a while. They put out some good albums. Some great albums. Queen of Time was so good, and now everything just doesn't seem as good.
Yeah.
But it still is good. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could get that feeling. But Borderlands has really good, catchy tunes. I mean, every time I got the old Spotify on and got my mix playing, and if Bones comes on, man, that's just
that's a good one.
such a good song, such a good song, and they just, like I said, they just don't disappoint me like some bands do. I mean, they've had their lull moments, but they still weren't bad. I don't have a bad Amorphous. Like, I don't be like, man, that Amorphous is so bad. I just don't have that with him. And this album was no different. I was very happy. So it was very, very odd that Paradise Lost, Catatonia, and Amorphous had an album out at the same time. And it just takes me back to a time period where I was really into those bands. And so it's like many, many moons later, they all three put out great albums for the year. And cannot talk enough about them. I mean, I wish we could play them right now without getting copyright hits. So I could be like, see, this is why this is good and this is good. But I can't do it. Copyright. We're getting close to the halfway mark. So we know we'll be talking about some honorable mentions at Lady Chapel's albums that she's wanting to talk about as well. But we're almost there, as we've gotten to the number 6, which is my favorite black metal album of the year. Black Braid with Black Braid 3. What a great album. I love it so much. The little instrumental breaks after like 3 or 4 songs and stuff, it's really nice. We saw them recently as well this year, and blew us away how good they were in comparison to the first time we saw them. Black Braid, if you like any kind of black metal, for me, they definitely have a different style and a groove and their own little folk thing going on mixed in with black metal. So, and it's all Native American based, and I love that. It's like, as much as we talk about the devil, it is cliche to a point. It's just like, come on, can y'all not talk about anything else? There are plenty of evils in the world, not just the devil. So many evil things. And not just evil things, just interesting things, like I like hearing these like Native American style, black metal, songs. I just fucking dig it. And it keeps it fresh. It keeps it, interesting. I've been a fan of Black Braid since the first time I heard them, and I'm still a fan now, and I will be waving the flag for that band in the near future. But now we're at the halfway mark, and I'm going to do some bullet time, really quick, honorable mentions, and then Lady Chapel's going to do her albums that she wants to talk about. She don't even really have a top 10 because a lot of her stuff's on mine. She likes some of my stuff, not all my stuff. She's weird. But before then, all right, we're going to take a minute to take a shot, and then we're going to go right into it. So with a little bit of magic, there will be a shot here. And there it is. It's there.
Magic.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. Ooh. Make me do a little Macho Man. Ooh, yeah. I be thinking. So gonna bullet time these as much as possible. I listened to a lot of albums this year.
So many albums.
Did not realize, like I think I said that last year.
Yeah.
Oh, I listened to so many albums. I listened to way too many albums this year. I mean, it's not Kevin Lewis amount. So, I mean, nobody's that much of a savant. Oh, man. Anyway, So let's go through this really quickly. Scour, Phil Anselmo's death, Black and Death band, I guess you could call it. Just straight, just killer. It was really good. I quite enjoyed it, but not my normal style of listening most of the time. But I did dig it. For maybe made me very happy to hear Phil do vocals like that. And Cradle of Filth, boy, they've been in the news a lot lately. Google that. I'm not even going to go into that because I ain't got time for it. But I'm a longtime Cradle fan, even though it's really just the Danny Filth project. But the Screaming of the Valkyries, actually one of the best Cradle of Filth albums I've heard in a long time. It was very diverse. It was very had the catchy shit that you want to hear from a catchy Cradle song. The dark stuff is there. It's great. I quite liked it, even with all the controversy. Arch Enemy, Blood Dynasty, not bad. But I could give a shit after Angela was there. But it still was not a bad listen because I like Michael Mott's guitar playing. So it's still not bad. This is a shout out to my boy Wes, who's also in Anapolar. Whoop whoop. Sweat to Sea. Oh man, Lost Shores. That was a great metalcore band. I know you like some of the songs. I played you some of the songs, and I feel like they were a band that kind of missed the boat. They should have came out in like 2005. They would have fucking killed.
I think throughout the year, a song would play, in your Spotify mix, and I'm like, who's that? And it was always Sweat to Sea, and I'm like, I don't know why I can't remember that, but it was a killer few songs that kind of just played. So
for sure, and I don't know. I was like, I dig it a lot, and that was a recommendation from Wes. So thank you, Wes. Really killer band. Let's see here. Behemoth, Shit of God. I could go the rest of my life without having to hear the song Shit of God.
Yes.
But as far as the rest of the album, I enjoyed. I just think Shit of God was overplayed. I got so sick, my Spotify just kept playing it over and over again, and I was just like...
It's like the only song it was
No,
played.
come on. This album was really good, Behemoth record. And I'm not someone who was a constant Behemoth fan. I have my moments. I'm like, and they're a great live band. They're killer live. I will always... we haven't seen them since before we started the Chronicles, but we saw them twice before then. I hate we didn't get them for the Chronicles, though, but new album is great. I mean, if you're a Behemoth fan, I think you're going to like it. Oh, God, yeah. Midnight, Still Rust and Disgust. I liked about half of it, and the other half I could never have to listen to again. Witchcraft. I'm guessing that's how you say it. Half the album is Swedish, the other half is in English lyrically, but they kind of went back to their older sound of the first three albums, and I really dug that. But overall, the album in itself couldn't hold my attention like those older albums did. But I did love the going back, and there are a few songs I really dug, and I love Witchcraft. Let's just say it was better than Black Metal, which was that last acoustic one that I say they when it was really just him and a guitar. But I was that was the only album that ever disappointed me. This album didn't disappoint me, but it didn't blow me away either. So, but great band. Winston-Salem's Holy Roller. We saw them open for Crowbar.
Yep.
Rat King is the name of their new record, and it is worth a fucking spin. Just so you know, listen to this. Get on your Spotify. Go buy their album. I don't care how you listen to it. That's a great, they got that kind of, if you like stoner rock, you kind of like them. If you kind of like, I don't know, sometimes they're a little kind of spacey with the vocals and stuff. But I dig Holy Roller, and knowing that they're only 30 minutes from where I live, hell yeah. King Witch 3. That was a Kevin Lewis recommendation, and I really dug it. But then sometimes the vocalist, she sounded like, she made me think of Warrell Dane from Nevermore, even though the band doesn't sound like Nevermore, but she did for some reason at some points. Not all the time, but sometimes I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. But still dug it. It was a killer record. Black metal, Grima. I like this band. I love the whole, which by the way, Kevin Lewis, you never sent me anything about Grima. I know you think you did, but you didn't. I would have remembered this band. Nightshade was so good. I love the concept of that. It's like, I just think the whole Satanism black metal thing's played out. I get it if you're like, they're not true black metal if it's not about Satan. I don't. Whatever. I'm not a big, huge black metal guy. I like some black metal, and I understand where it comes from. I like learning about the culture of metal and where shit comes from. But Grima is one of those bands where they look like they wear masks and stuff, and they look like tree people almost, and they're of the woods, and it's of something else. But the style is black metal, and they have an accordion. My God, that what? But yeah, Grima, definitely check them out. Oh my God, I love that. That's a good atmospheric record too, just to put on. What year is it? Heaven Shall Burn had an album. Oh, and I can't even pronounce Heimat. I don't even know how you pronounce it, but I love those guys in the early 2000s, and to hear them again, and then have a song where they do they covered a Kill Switch Engage song and had Jesse Leach come out and do the chorus. He did the chorus, and that was great. That was awesome. Another one is Beast. I don't know how you say it. Baest. I've never heard anybody pronounce it, so I don't know. But it's just like Beast, I guess, but it's not Beast. Baest. What is the name of this album? I have no idea. Colossal. Boom. That's what it is. Did not like it as good as the last record. They still have that good, cool groove, but it was almost too fun, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes I don't want my metal to be fun. I just want it to be bone crushing and destroying. And they were one of those bands that did that for me. But this album, they got a little fun with it, and that's nothing wrong with that. If you like that, that's great. But overall, I was really excited, and it didn't really hit me like I wanted to, but it still wasn't bad. It's still, if you want that kind of groove metal, death metal sound, they got it. Oh, wow. Shout out to my girl Bree. New Deftones record, Private Music. I think that's what it's called. Yep, Private Music. I don't remember the name of the album. What I did like about the new Deftones record is the stuff that sounded like old school Deftones really made me happy. Abe Cunningham's drumming is phenomenal. The sound of his drums on this record is phenomenal. And when they're not being too atmospheric, I like it. I like more of the dirtier riff and screaming Deftones. It's just always going to be me. That's what I like. I mean, but it was a fun record. I can't say I didn't like it. I didn't love it, but I didn't like it. But as a long term, I've been a Deftones fan since I was like 16, 17 years old. So, and I'm an old fart now. And so this was not a bad listen. Another shout out here to my boy Matthew Adams, because he got me turned on to this band, Faytooth. And they put out their new album, Labyrinthine. I guess that's how you say it.
That sounds right.
That sounds right. Really dug this stoner, really chill. It's dark and heavy, but it's kind of like there be screams, but they'll be in the background. You know what I mean? They're not forefront in the mix, but a lot of weird, just kind of atmospheric vibe. I dug it. I didn't dig it as good as the album before, but I did dig it just to put on and kind of listen to, you know. Oh, we saw these guys. King Parrot. A young personal guide to, and I'm guessing it's King Parrot because, you know.
Yeah.
But that's all you can say. Just look up King Parrot. I'm not going to say anything else about it. They're a crazy ass band. I got to give this shout out. Boy, JP.
Yes.
Killer's Confession, Victim 2. I said this last year. Victim 1 was the heaviest record that a Killer's Confession has ever done. I have to rescind that comment because I have to say that Victim 2 was probably the heaviest record they ever done.
Yeah.
And with the guest appearances from like J-Man and Stitch and whatnot, you know, it was pretty cool to have the whole Mushroom Head family in on this stuff. You know, and JP plays bass, JP Cross for Killer's Confession. He's a longtime friend, and I try to support my friends because I fucking love y'all. Long time Death Doom band, November's Doom, put out a pretty awesome record with, I don't remember what this is called. I can't even see it. Missing something. Missing Arcana. But, they, Veterans, was a solid listen, but nothing out of the ordinary. Nailed to Obscurity. We've seen that band live. They were great. But this album, I was about half and half with. The good parts were great. The heavy parts were great. Even, you know, the kind of clean kind of parts were great. But there were some songs, man, I was like, wow, this chorus is just way too poppy.
Yeah.
And it just did not hit me. So about half the record I liked and half the record I didn't. And what'd you say the name of the album was again? I didn't forgot. I
did too.
We're going to leave that in because that's just a hilarious joke for us right now.
It was Generation of the Void.
Of the Void, yeah, Generation of the Void, because I couldn't read my old chicken scratch. Because apparently I wrote it too fast. And in cursive for some fucking reason. So, okay. All right, now we got to Howlin' Giant, which we saw open for Castle Rat, and they were great. Their new album was phenomenal. Now I'm trying to find it. Crucible and Rain. Ooh, it was a nice listen. It was a fun listen. I'm going to be honest. Live, that's the band to see live. Yes. In comparison to listening to them on the album,
for sure,
not the same. It's not that the album's not good. It's not that the listen's not good. Live, these guys destroy. If not, our Concert Chronicle on Castle Rat and Howlin' Giant is a must-see because they burn that stage up. It was great. They were so good.
Yes, they were.
And then we got Soulfly with Chama. I don't know. I didn't know how this was said, but honestly, the heaviest Soulfly album I've probably ever heard. But and I've been a fan since I was in high school. Max Cavalera, baby. Max Cavalera, Soulfly, Sepultura. You know. Oh man, here we go. Let's see here. We got Wino. We all, you know, some of y'all know I'm a big Wino fan. Wino, Create or Die. It was a good listen. It didn't really hit me as some of his other stuff, but it was a good listen. It's Wino, you know. Oh, here we go. Another shout out to Wes. Lorna Shore. Oh, I feel the embrace. Something within me. I can't write for nothing. I feel the embrace blah, 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 blah within me. I don't know what word I just put there, but it was a bad one. And y'all gonna think I'm drunk. I'm not drunk. But when I wrote this, I was in a hurry, and apparently I just chicken scratched this. And I thought I did very well.
I feel the ever black festering within me.
Festering, ever black festering within me. See, I can't even read my own handwriting. But, needless to say, not a bad listen. I'm not a Lorna Shore hater. There are some Lorna Shore haters out there. I mean, I'll be picky with some stuff. I'm not a huge fan, but I appreciate talent when I hear it. And, their vocalist, he has so much range.
Yeah.
And I mean, he can clean sing too like crazy. I mean, there's videos of him doing Chokehold by Sleep Token. Not that I'm a Sleep Token fan, but it just shows his range of a vocalist, But the Lorna Shore, it was some heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, them drums are a little trickery. You know I'm right, Wes. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. So, anyways, mark that off the list. We had Hexecutioner. I don't even know what the name of that shit is. Hornet. It's the very opening song is about Sasquatch. It's just stoner madness. I know you. This is the best top 10 video we've ever done.
I am dying back here.
And I've saved the best for last, though, even though talking about Hexecutioner, look him up. If you like Sasquatch and stoner metal, you'll love this band.
What a combination.
Right? Yeah, it really is. But here's the one. This should have made my top 10. It didn't, because it was such a late listen. They pushed the album back, and then I forgot to go back and listen to it. I didn't see when it actually come out in October, and I didn't listen to it till like mid-November, and I've already listened to all these albums, and I really wanted to put this on my top 10, but I just couldn't with all the other stuff I had listened to before. But this album would normally have been there because his first solo record made my number one when it came out. This is his second one, and it's great, and I love it so much. But we have Kirk Windstein with Ethereal Waves. My God, Kirk can write an album that doesn't sound like Crowbar.
Yeah.
And I love it. And
I actually just love that album title, too.
Ethereal Waves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Kirk can write some stuff, man. He's not a one-trick pony, Mm-hmm. And we all know I love me some Kirk Windstein. Met Kirk multiple times, seen Crowbar multiple times, Down multiple times. God, what else can you say? He can write an album that's just, it was like so not Crowbar, but it's Kirk Windstein. So, but now, taking the time, we're going to change real quick. Yeah, we're going to change, as Macho Man says. Oh, yeah, we're going to make a change. So, let's make a little transition, and here's Lady Chapel with some of her top albums of the year. We're here.
We are here.
All right.
I am interrupting your current scheduled program to talk a little bit about some albums that were very near and dear to myself that, didn't quite make the top 10. I will say 2 out of the top 3 albums of, my top albums of the year were already on Chapel's, so I am going to let him talk about them properly, and I will have plenty to add behind the camera. However, there were a few that definitely were more special to me
Than they were to me.
than they were to you.
Yeah.
So, first off, we have to start with Lacuna Coil's new album. Super huge fan of Lacuna Coil ever since they were introduced to me many, many years ago by somebody.
Could it be?
Who could that be?
Who could it be? I don't know. Someone who else is a fan.
Maybe.
Still a fan. And the new album, I will say, is great.
The new album
I have
is
no
great.
qualms with the new album. To me, it's one of the better Lacuna Coil albums to come out in 20 years.
Absolutely. It's called Sleepless Empire. I feel like there's this whole aesthetic around the whole album too, even tied to the name of the album, and it's just really beautiful. And I've really liked. I've even liked their albums over the past 10 years that may have not been. They can't compare, right, to like Home Alive or something like that.
Home Alive or Karma Code.
Or Karma Code, yeah, like, because that's the epitome. But this album really hit. I will have to say my favorite song, I Wish You Were Dead, on this album. Check that out. Check the video out. She is beautiful as she's ever been.
Christina.
I just love her. But no, top album. We saw them earlier this year, and stage performance still just fucking killed it. So highly recommend. That would be one of my top 3 albums, easy, for the year.
Would have definitely been a recommendation for me for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So, he wanted. I did still just a few.
But that's definitely one of your more favorite than mine.
Absolutely.
So.
And they're coming back around in 2026, so I have to go see them again. Following that, another album that really kind of hit for me was the new Machine Head album, Unatoned, which I know Chapel back here has a love-hate relationship with Machine Head.
Yeah. I have a love-hate relationship with this album.
You do.
Well, I would even say love. I like about half of it, and the other half I can do without.
There are like a couple songs that I'm just like, I don't know if I want to hear that, but I would say probably 90% of the album I totally dug. And especially seeing some of these songs played live, talking about, seeing Lacuna Coil. They actually opened, one of the opening bands for Machine Head this year. It was my first time getting to see Machine Head finally. And I don't know, maybe that caused it to hit a little bit better. But killer album. Again, totally recommend, especially if you're already a Machine Head fan.
Yeah, to me, it's like the songs that were good.
Yes.
But like I said, there's some things in
Bleeding Me Dry. That's my song of the album.
Bone Scraper for me was probably my favorite song on the album, and I just good lyrics too, and but yeah, it's like about half that album I could do without, and the rest of it I could take. But that's better than Catharsis.
Well,
which I'll never ever listen to or try to talk about again. So, anyways, we'll move on.
Yeah, well, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that.
Because I will rant about how terrible that album is. That was wasting my time.
You're wasting my time.
I know, it's terrible. So terrible. All right.
So let's go to another one of my favorites of the year. Talk about the new Killswitch Engage album. Mm-hmm. The Consequence. I am also a huge Killswitch Engage fan. Even though I got brought into the Killswitch era with Howard. This was before I even knew that, there was an original singer, and then, Jesse came back to the band. So I was like, oh, wait, hold on, let me catch up on some more. So yeah, now I'm just kind of love them a lot. Yeah. So they've been a big part of our story for a really long time. This album has some real good bangers on it. It's some good repeat songs that I can just listen to and never get tired of. So definitely 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I thought it was a great album.
Yes.
For them. It wasn't as good for me. It wasn't as good as the album before. That one definitely made top 10. But this one still a solid record. I love Jesse because I was a Jesse fan first.
Yeah.
And so I love Jesse singing with them. And this album didn't disappoint me, but it didn't break any boundaries either with me. But it was a solid kill switch record.
Right.
Start to finish. I have no bad shit to really say about it.
I usually know how much I like an album based on its repeat status. So this one has been on repeat a lot on my Spotify. So, and I think my Wrapped Up mentioned them on some of the songs. So,
Right.
Definitely a good one. All right, now we're getting to a little bit of the different ones. I have to talk about my man from the Halo Effect. I will preface in saying March of the Unheard is the name of this album that came out this year. Do I like it as much as last year's album? No. However, still great. I love the whole feel that this band gives. It's sometimes they're a little bit too much in what Chapel here doesn't care for. However, the Halo Effect really turned things around for a lot. It's, you've got the lead singer of Dark Tranquility, and it's just totally, completely opposite. You've got all the people from ex-members of In Flames playing in this band, so it's a very interesting combination, yet not what you would expect. So, still, the album as a whole, I really did enjoy. Of course, I think I would love anything he did, to be fair.
I liked it as well, but I didn't like it as good as I liked the first
No,
record.
I agree.
I wished I did.
That first...
Kevin Lewis, you were full of crap.
Yeah, I think Kevin said he liked this one better.
You don't know what you're talking about, man. I wished I did. I wanted to. I felt like it was like... It just felt kind of like a continuation, and then some of the album just kind of lulled.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like
I
the bangers
agree.
are bangers.
I completely agree.
There are bangers on there's bangers on that record, but a good chunk of it lulls for me, and I don't like that. I want that first album just kind of was like boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom,
and I know
boom.
we've talked about that.
Yeah.
When it came out, like there was not a bad song on that album.
No, not
at all. And so in this one, I think I had more hopes than that was delivered to me, but still, I'm still a huge fan, and that's still definitely worth listening.
And they also put out that EP this year. I don't even remember what it's called, but the EP was all covers, and they did the How the Gods Kill cover, and I was not happy with that at all. It was not a there was no soul into that performance, and it should have had a lot more soul.
Yeah, but you can't compare.
But the Wasp,
Danzig.
but their Wasp.
Okay.
Be somebody.
Yeah, that was really good.
Now that was cool.
That was
I
really
like
good.
that. But but yeah.
So yeah, if you're not familiar with the Halo Effect, please go check them out. Start with that first album that they put out, and you will not be disappointed. All right, I have two more. Saving the best one for last. You'll see.
Oh no. Oh no.
So next we are going to go with one of my guilty pleasure bands, and I want to thank Keith for being the Polar for introducing this band to me. They have actually been on a Concert Chronicle, and we had a really amazing time, and they did not get some of the recognition they deserve, at least here on the East Coast. That would be Sumo Psycho. I just love this band. I love the energy they give. As Corey likes to say, wait, what is it you say?
It's like a metal Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, metal Gwen Stefani. They really do, and that's probably why I have some of this nostalgia. I was a huge No Doubt fan in my younger days, so the energy that she brings is just killer. The album is Neon Void. I sort of tied this with the Halo Effect at the same time. Did not like this album as much as the first. Well, not their first, but the previous album before. That one was absolutely killer. So I had a lot of high hopes. Not a bad album whatsoever. Me and Keith actually talked about this just tonight. About this album, and he says it's amazing. He's a huge fan. And rightfully so. So, great album. If you've never heard of them, check them out. They are definitely something interesting and maybe a little different than what you expect from the Chapels. So, that's that's that. And now,
Oh no.
this is where it gets really fun. And I had to do this. And because we were going to talk about Sleep Token. And if you do not know, Chapel is such a huge fan of Sleep Token.
Definitely not an honorable mention.
Oh, I wish I had my Sleep Token shot glass. I would take a shot. He bought that for me for Christmas, and I know
I don't know
that's
what
paying
she's
him.
talking
He
about.
purchased
What?
a Sleep Token item. Okay?
Lies and slander.
Oh,
How
yeah.
dare you?
Yeah. I'm such a liar. However, album name, even in Arcadia, which also is a great song from the album. I have always had a love-hate relationship with Sleep Token. I have several of my friends out there. You guys know who you are. Huge Sleep Token fans. And while the songs that I've always really loved from Sleep Token, I love. There is this not much gray middle ground with this band for me. I either really love the song or I'm like, I skip it. However, I have to say, this album specifically as an album in the whole, not necessarily some of my favorite songs, I didn't skip as many songs on this one, so I think that that's a win. However, I'm going to preface that Caramel can completely never be played on my phone ever again. I can't. I have to skip that one. But that's really about it. I think that they kind of... I knew he was going to do that. They've taken a little bit of a different... I don't know if approach is the right word, but you can see their evolution and how quickly they're becoming really big into the spotlight and into the mainstream, and that's not always a bad thing. But I have to give this album some love. Dangerous. When I first heard that song, that one stuck with me. And again, the title track, the Even in Arcadia, really great song. So I just, of course, had to come on and completely mess up Chapel's album of the year by talking about Sleep Token. You are welcome.
Well, let's get you phased out of there real quickly after talking about that.
Yeah, you're ready to kick me to the curb now. But anyway, thank you for listening to some of my special albums of the year, and I guess it's time back to your regularly scheduled program.
Well, now that I had to hear about Sleep Token, let's erase my memory. Cheers. Halfway through the list. Now it's number, we're going to go through 5 all the way up to 1. So, cheers. Let's do this. All right, y'all. Number 5. And this is one that all some of my real metal friends always give me hell for. But I have loved this band since 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. Since the beginning, y'all, I have been behind this band. And here they are again with probably one of their biggest tours they've ever been on this year. We did see them, but we couldn't have cameras or anything, so we couldn't do a chronicle. Wish we could have. But we have done a chronicle on this band before. But it is Ghost with Skelata. Oh, yeah. Great. It was a great show. Great. Yes. The tour was great, as far as I know. Everything went great on the tour. But the show we went to specifically was really packed. Biggest Ghost show I've ever been a part of. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Out of all the times that I've actually seen Ghost, well, we've seen Ghost.
Yeah, it's been quite a few.
We've seen them in clubs up to the biggest arena we've ever seen them in. So it is something to kind of see a band grow like that. But this album, and this is my thing about this album. I like it. There are some songs I don't ever want to hear again, but the majority of the songs I really like. I like his style of lyrics and the way he writes vocal melodies. I like that this album has a little bit of that 80s synth in it. You know, shut up, Kevin Lewis. You know, I don't mind a little bit of it. I just don't want to listen to just synth, you psychopath.
Kevin's getting picked on all throughout the...
Kevin is watching this with Jenny in his living room, and he is laughing his ass off right now because he knows I love him. But anyways, yeah, it gave me a really good 80s, dark 80s feel with a lot of these songs. And I like of course, the new Papa is a whole different thing altogether.
I'm digging it.
And definitely digging the new Papa.
And if it wasn't quite obvious, this is one of my top
this is definitely one of her top albums.
Year.
Oh, yeah, hands
Absolutely.
down. I would, yeah, definitely. So, and like I said, Umbra. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
That song in itself is my favorite song on the whole album. Starts off with a cowbell, has a great little bridge part of a little musical break. It is really good in the song. Most underrated song on the album. I mean, I think if you're a fan, you listen to it, but if you're just a casual fan, you know, if you're only listening to the singles and whatnot, you don't know about that. Umbra is the song, I'm telling you. Listen to that song. Number 4. Woo, baby. And we're about to see these guys soon. We're about to see these guys soon in March. I've been waiting to see these guys live, and their new album did not disappoint me at all. Oh, I love these guys so much.
Ready also.
You know who it is. You already know who it is.
Yes.
We are talking about Orbit Culture. Whoo, man, Death Above Life, which that song on the title track on the album is great. This whole album's great. These guys just get better and better. They've only been around since 2020.
That blows my mind.
It blows my mind. You would think they've been around forever. Yeah. They have that seasoned vet feel to them. And they're just so crushingly heavy. I love Orbit Culture so much. I've been a fan. The first time I heard these guys, I was like, who is this band? And been following them ever since. God almighty. I can't say enough good things about it. This album's good start to finish. Even though I don't remember the name of the slow song, but even with it, within the album, like, listening process, it's good. Yes. It doesn't throw away all, throw off the album too bad, to have a little slow kind of number or whatnot. But they're so crushingly heavy. They have a sound that is definitely like, if the whole melodic death metal scene from Sweden, Norway, and stuff definitely is in there, but it's like a whole nother level. They are so heavy. I love them, and I'm so excited to see these guys live.
Yes.
Finally, after 6 years, get to see these guys live. Number 4 could have been my number 1. It almost was, if things just hadn't worked out the way they worked out. But this band, I said number 4. I meant number 3. Damn you, Tequila. Number 3, The Haunted.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Put out one of the greatest metal records I have heard in a long, long time. And I mean just straight up heavy groove. I mean just dirty, visceral, just metal. Not anything else. We're not trying to be anything else. We're going to give you the groove. We're going to give you the riffs. We're going to give you the dirty vocals. And they delivered.
Yes.
This album is so good. Songs of Last Resort. Oh my God.
As a person who knew who The Haunted was, but wasn't, the biggest fan, and this album came out, and I'm like, wow, okay. I'm rethinking that.
Well,
was huge.
the people who've been in this band, you know, members of At the Gates, Ola England is in this band now, and it just is insane. I think it's Ola England. Kevin Lewis is like, is he right? I don't know. Pretty sure it's Ola. I might be getting mixed up. All these Swedish guys, man, you're all getting lumped together. Oh, so racist. Racist against Swedish people. So many Swedes in my life with music. It's insane. Swedes and all the Norwegians and the, you know, Danish, the, you know, all that from all those European countries, man. That one section, man, there's so much metal that comes from there. I'm not trying to just say you're all the same, but my God, y'all. But The Haunted killed me with this album. And, you know, I liked Peter Dolvin when he was the singer. I really did, because he definitely had a different style. Yeah, he could still do that rough, you know, kind of vocal. But now that he's not in it and the original vocalist was back, as far as I know, it's still the original vocalist, so don't take me to heart on that. All I know is this album hit me, and I just played the hell out of it for the longest time. And Fire We're Reborn, man. Oh, you know, I'm like ready to go. I felt 25 again, ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? It was so good. So, yeah, I cannot recommend The Haunted's new album enough. I cannot. Do it. Listen to it.
Yes.
Listen to it. Well, my number 2, I know, is your number 1.
You are correct.
I know I'm right. My number 2 is Rivers of Nile with their self-titled album, Rivers of Nile. We saw them recently. The Concert Chronicle hasn't come out yet. It will after this. But when it does, it will be epic, because they were epic. They played this album in its entirety. And what an amazing time it was. This album is great. There are some controversial things with the band because of, you know, some member changes and stuff. And that happens in bands. I'm not holding anything against anybody. All I know is what I feel when I hear, I'm just throwing my pen. I just know what I hear, you know, how I feel when I hear something. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about personal squabbles and stuff about, you know, I really don't get into all that anymore. I just know if I like something when I hear it, I like it. If I don't like it, I don't like it. And I have my reasons and whatnot. But Rivers of Nile, new album, blew me away. It was so good, so crisp and heavy, and just takes you on a journey from start to finish in this album. You know, Suborbital Blues, the very first song on the album, really just sets the tone. And then, you know, you have like Water in Time.
Water in Time is
that's Lady Chapel's song. She loves that song.
That's my favorite song, and I'm still obsessed with this album.
Yeah,
literally, it's in my head as we speak.
She's ready to get off here and listen to it while we play some video games. That's
I totally
what she's ready for.
Did just say that. During the camera break, however, I am obsessed with this album still, and that says a lot.
Yeah, this album has really rocked us for the past 6 months, I would say, at least.
And I really loved the album initially, hearing it with you.
Oh,
however,
I have to make a shout out to Dallas Boyd, because he's the only other person I've ever known who was a fan who I've actually had conversations with. So shout out to Dallas. Yeah, the new Rivers of Nile, brother. Yeah. Anyways, now back to what you were saying.
But yeah, and I was saying, like, I loved the album. I was totally into it, listening to it with you. And then we saw them live.
Oh, that was game changer.
Yeah, it is one of them life-changing moments. I don't have many of those. And that
I'd say that Ghost.
Ghost was a pivotal one.
Seeing them live and hearing the album that way really gave me a completely different appreciation. So my number one by far, it pained me not being able to talk about this album.
But it was my number 2.
I waited.
I took it from her.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. I got to mention Sleep Token on your
who?
your video. So.
Who? I don't know who that is.
But killer album, killer band. Please check them out. Check out their music videos too. They're really good.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's time to talk about my number 1. We're here.
We are here, finally.
Number 1. Numero uno. So we have a shot ready for number 1.
I'm going to hand this
Hand
off.
me the shot.
Yes.
Shot this here. So before we take this shot for the number 1 album of Chapel's Top 10 of 2025, here is to Castle Rat, the Bestiary. I'm actually wearing my Castle Rat shirt. Yeah, from the last show. Anyways, cheers.
Cheers, Castle Rat.
Cheers to Castle Rat. No! Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Well, he's back. He's okay.
He's safe.
He's safe. So, as I was saying,
He got a little excited too. Let's
got a
be
little
honest.
excited because I am a big fan, and I have here the vinyl of The Bestiary by Castle Rat, which, my God, go on about how I love this band. Probably my favorite underground band, and the fact that probably last year I think they were number 9 with their debut album,
which was great.
Which was
also.
great. Could have been number 1. I'd listened to it a lot,
Yeah.
but it just, like it is, it falls in with what I'm listening to at the time, and if I'm listening to more albums, if I had more time to listen to other albums. But this time, the Bestiary, man, I was ready for it. I was totally ready for this album. I'd done been listening to the tracks that they had released earlier before the album came out. So I was ready for this album, and I love it. They're ode to like really old school Judas Priest before Judas Priest was popular. You know what I mean? That's kind of what they do in there. It's that style of like 70s, early 80s heavy metal. And they still, they have their own story they've been working on. They're like ghosts, you know what I mean? They have a narrative, and they're working with a narrative, but theirs is very fantasy based. You like Conan the Barbarian, you like Skyrim, you might like Castle Rat. That's all I'm saying. Musically, you might like Castle Rat. I do. I love them. I absolutely love them, and both times we saw them have been great.
Yeah. This
This last time was really good, and it was the Concert Chronicle that came out right before this video, so please check it out. They're a great band.
They are.
And
I love them also.
And their attention to detail in their own story is something. But the contrast, yet similarities of their debut album to their sophomore release. Like sometimes a band puts out a second record and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't have this with Castle Rat.
No.
They do not have that ability. They are going nowhere before. They just got on probably their biggest tour since being a band. They're opening for a Monomarth and touring the U.S. The closest they're coming to us is like what? Tennessee and Atlanta.
Georgia. Yeah, Atlanta.
So I wish they were coming here, but they're not. But I mean, Atlanta, Tennessee is not a far drive. You never know. We'll see. So just depending, but. The Bestiary is definitely my top album of the year. I really have clinged onto this band. I want them to succeed. They're one of those bands I am rooting for. And to go from number 9 or number 10, I can't remember what I had them at last year, but I put them on. They made the top 10. But now number 1, absolutely number 1, The Siren. My God,
Yes.
that song is so beautiful. I cannot go on about how beautiful of a song that is. And they have just a great mixture of like that doomy stoner metal, fantasy based stuff, and it's not any death metal vocals. They like that 70s, 80s metal vibe, so they're going to stick with that. But it works. It works for what they do. I don't know what else to say.
The live theatrics.
Yeah. Just to go see
worthy.
them live. And like I said, watch the Concert Chronicle. I get some of the really cool theatrical stuff live. You don't want to give too much, but I mean, man.
Yeah, watch both Chronicles, because we've seen them twice in a year time span.
And the stage show advanced from just a year. And for me, like what I really love this time is, she spit up the blood this time during the show. And then when they go into, it's a song from the first record called Cry For Me. And then she sings, Cry For Me, baby. And you can still see the blood where she had spit it out earlier. And it's just one of these moments where it's like, a real serious moment, but then it's like you just forget, like 3 minutes before then she was spitting up blood because she just got brought back to life. But I love Castle Rat. I'm rooting for them hardcore, and they are my number one this year. So that is my top 10, and with Lady Chapel, and I hope it's not too super long, and I hope everyone has enjoyed this. And what else is there to say? Guys, go out there, find you some good music.